What's up, everyone? Mr. Totem back again. Another Veteranos Corner, and give you a little bit of insight of what I got as far as certain subjects pertaining to graph and other things just in life. Today, I've had a number of conversations with people, and they've brought up the topic of toys. You know, what is the things that really define to someone, you know, a writer or anyone who really pays attention to those particular things, like what is a toy? You know, what exactly am I a toy, or so on and so forth. So I'm gonna basically discuss it right now. I'm gonna give my opinion on the word toy, the definition, the title given to people who earn that particular moniker. Are you a toy? In Mr. Totem's opinion, no. No, I don't believe you're a toy. I believe that you're a human first. And why do I bring that up? Because to be human is to err, to mess up, to be allowed to mess up. You know, all of us, we all started out as little kids, and we make mistakes, and we pay for those mistakes in different ways, whether our parents, you know, scold us, or, you know, someone from the neighborhood, you know, pulls us by our ear, or, you know, some of this maybe archaic stuff that people don't do anymore. But we learn from our trials and errors. So, you know, whenever I think about, you know, people who earn the moniker of toy, see, one of the things that I like to bring up about that is that you're not really a toy because your graph's not good or you don't have talent. A lot of times the guys that I would definitely believe they earned the moniker of toy, they didn't earn it because, you know, they weren't really good at, you know, graffiti. So what do I mean? You earn being a toy, being a capital bitch. You understand? And what do I mean? Well, you know, how do you conduct yourself, you know, on a regular basis is really the telling things that show whether you earn that title or not. And, you know, at the end of the day, people don't understand that TOY is actually an acronym, TOYS. When I was a kid, they used to call it trouble on your system. What do you call it? Trouble observing your slip up, or finally, truly overdoing the situation, overdoing your situation. All right. So, you know, so what's the telltale signs of a toy, right? Well, you know, it's your attitude. First and foremost is how you look at being a writer, but also just being a person, right? If you're a sneaky dude, you know, if you're a shiesty dude, you know, and, you know, there are sneaky dudes, shiesty dudes that get by, but, you know, if you really are kind of a scumbag, really on some scumbag style, you know, a lot of times people ain't gonna give you a pass, you know. Well, how does that work? You know, how do you get past the fact that having a bad attitude is going to put you in a bad light with a lot of people? You know, it doesn't matter if you're fresh. Like, I know dudes that are fresh, but their attitude sucks, or like they're super negative and stuff like that. It's hard. I mean, you know, in graph, there's a lot of people rolling around with negative attitudes, but if you really are on some, like, you know what, man, I'm really enjoying just being a writer. I enjoy kicking it with the homies, and I enjoy, you know, going out there and just kicking it and bombing and painting things and stuff like that, and enjoying my time. like it's more like a paradise or more like a vacation, as opposed to being like, man, I got a bone to pick, a point to prove, you know, or someone to dominate. You really become more of an easygoing person, and people really like adhere to that. They like that better, you know. So that's one of the big ones there. And another one of the things that really kind of puts you in the toy category is the way you handle things. Like a lot of guys out there, you know, they're on the come up. They're trying to learn. They're trying to talk to people. They're trying to meet people. And sometimes they get kind of like desperate or something. You know what I'm saying? They get kind of like thirsty to kick it. And sometimes they do some extracurricular punkness, you know what I mean? They actually go out there and you know, they kind of act like a hoe. And, you know, that kind of stuff, like, you'll end up having disagreements with good riders, or even just regular riders. You'll end up having disagreements that are just going to get you into more bullshit, rather than if you had just kept it easy and let it be organic in the way that you build your friendships with people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really other people that give you the moniker toy or not. The same people are the same ones that crown you king. Those are the same ones that play you pauper. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these guys, they conduct themselves with the real harlotry in nature. You know what I'm saying? The harlotry be strong in them. And that's another one of those things that'll put you in that bad spot. See, the next one is, you know, a lot of times you have to understand respect, you know, observing respect, giving respect, but also being able to be respected. And, you know, a lot of times, like a younger rider, they'll play themselves because they're trying to get accepted. And I understand that. I've been there. I've been in those shoes before. But, you know, you have to approach, you know, either regular riders or veteran riders with a sense of like, you know, hey, look, you know, I'm coming to you, you know, very respectful. Nice to meet you. You know, man, I've seen your work. You know, I'd like to introduce myself. You know what I'm saying? Like a regular man would, you know, just being for real with it. And, you know, at that point, a lot of these guys, especially coming from an OG status, if you ever meet any of them, they have a little bit more of a softer spot to be like, okay, the kid seems respectful. The kid seems like a good kid. You know, we gotta, you know, figure you out when we first start talking to you. We don't know if you really are on some, you know, you're trying to climb the graph ladder. You're trying to get in with the in crowd. Who knows what you're trying to get out of trying to hang with people. You know what I'm saying? And you may just trying to have friends. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is one of the things that'll help you get past playing yourself. You know, because that's really the key here, is that your reputation takes years to cobblestone together. Take 10 seconds to ruin it all. You understand? So respect is the first thing, you know? And with that, if you do have the attention of an older rider, one of the keys right there is to be all ears. You know, you've probably heard the saying, you know, God give you 2 ears and 2 eyes and 1 mouth, because you got to do more listening and more watching than you do speaking. A lot of these toys, you know, you want to call them that. A lot of those guys, they just want to talk, and they want to talk over you. They don't want to listen to anything you got to say. And they earn that. Well, you realize at that point, OG will just kind of fall back like this and go, all right, that's what's up. And that's it. And next thing you know, you ain't getting any reciprocative comment back to you. You're not actually engaging any comments anymore, because at that not comments, conversation, you know, you find yourself on the outs, and you're like, well, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Well, what happened was you want to tell your war stories. You want to tell your your adventures, and you want to take a motherfucker all the way to Wonderland and regale them with your stories and stuff like that. When in actuality, you were probably better off just kicking it. You know, you came up to them and you tried to like listen to where they are coming from, and that's a missed opportunity that will earn you that moniker right there. So really try to keep a note of that. You understand? And another one of the things that really make a person play themselves and get you put into the toyisms is when you try to make your style whatever's current. You know, whatever's the hot, effect, or, you try to emulate what you see on Instagram and all these things like that, trying to get, in the pursuit of likes as opposed to the pursuit of, proper nutrition when it comes to style. Like, that's one of the ones that you don't even need to see the guy face to face to see, like, nah, I ain't trying to mess with him. Oh, if you're over here doing some wobbly fat cat tags, going like this and all this kind of stuff like that, you know who you are. You honestly, any of us real G's will look at that and go, homeboy, like, it'd be different if you were trying to showcase that you had fly tags with orange balls or NY fats and you're showing flares. But if you ain't doing that, homeboy, we see it. You understand? We see it. And that right there, you see these guys, they try to hide between a million colors and all this kind of stuff. They basically hide, their ineptness with style, and that kind of stuff like that, that's a dead giveaway, man. And I'm not saying, these guys that do multiple thousand fill, pieces and stuff like that ain't no good. I'm just saying that if you try to go with whatever's popular, that's the hot move of the day, you're gonna earn being called a toy. And a lot of times they're not gonna tell you to your face. They're gonna say it amongst your peers, and then you're basically gonna be on the outs. And if I was you, I would avoid that one for sure. So with all that being said, those are probably pretty minuscule as far as all the things that would count to basically put you in that toy category. But Totem, what could I do? What are some things I should observe to actually keep me in the good graces? A lot of the things I had kind of stated already in the earlier stuff, but some of the really key categories, like really key categories is, you got to always be respectful. That's first and foremost. You heard me say that, do more listening and watching than talking. But also, too, you got to be down for your get down if anything goes left on you. Like, sometimes you'll just run into dudes that just want to try you. They just want to, like, give you a hard time and stuff like that. Even if you're really being a chill dude. Even if you're really trying to, like, yo, I'm trying to be respectful. This dude over here is trying to be hella aggressive with me or something like that. And you have to find yourself right then and there. You got to be like, yo, fuck it, let's throw down. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Let's get this squabs going, or whatever the fuck we got to do. Let's get down, And the minute they see that you down for your squabs, you down for your fisticuffs, you down for your knuckle up, then you at least get the heart check. Okay? When I was younger in my neighborhood, they had something called the heart check. And the heart check is something that I don't care who you are. You're going to find yourself where you're under scrutiny on the heart check. And the heart check, what that does, that lets anyone know if I become friends with you, or if I'm even around you, you ain't gonna turn tail and run. If you don't turn tail and run, then you're less likely to snitch. Because if you really have a whole lot of sugar in your gas tank, if you got a lot of Kool-Aid running through your veins and your heart got a ponytail, well, guess what they're thinking about when they kick it with you? They're thinking, this fool might snitch on me, man. Like, how could I possibly let this fool hang around me or the rest of my confidants? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got to show that we down for, the true laws that come with this graph shit. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I always tell people, like I don't believe graph is art. I believe graffiti is graffiti. I believe it's vandalism. We are vandal at the end of the day. So we one foot in art and another foot on a banana peel right into criminology. And you know, who knows, if I'm kicking it with you, I might be there when you slip. And that's not something that, you know, you should be loose in the hinges about. You understand what I'm saying? So realistically, you should keep in mind that that's always going to be under scrutiny. Your heart check got to be ready for evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, and finally, you know, I think you really have to kind of keep in mind that there are people, and really think of this deeply. There are people that are not considered toys that are just not very good at graph. Like you'll see their pieces and you're like, man, that shit is not good. That shit is trash, or whatever, you know, these young guys like to say. They love saying trash and stuff like that. But the funny thing that you don't realize is a lot of these dudes, they just earned it in homie bucks. They earned it in street cred. They earned it in heart checks. And those kind of things go a long way. So your talent is not going to carry you through all the scrutiny that you're going to face out there. You understand? And I'm telling you this because after 35 years, I'm going on 36 years, I've seen them all. I've seen every type. I've seen every type of dude that's trying to climb the graffiti ladder. Every dude that's trying to kiss ass and, you know, brody their way into respect from other people, trying to dick ride, all the things that are just, to a real motherfucker, find that reprehensible. You know, it's like, I'm appalled. I don't like that stuff that I see. And people of my ilk feel the same way. So you have to understand that at all times, you have to keep a level of integrity, a level of class, and a level of heart that supersedes anything as far as just being a straight up graffiti artist or bomber or whatever. I know some trash bombers and I know some great bomber guys. I know some trash ass piecers, but I know some great piecers. I know some people, and they're just good people. And that in itself is why I said from the very beginning that, are you a toy? I don't like to call people toy out the gate because they're learning. You're human first. So I believe certain levels you're allowed and you should be able to make a mistake. But after the first mistake, or after the second or third, man, and you find yourself by yourself, there's a reason, because you ain't checked yourself. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an insight on my opinion, Mr. Totem's opinion, about what it is to be a toy, and whether you should walk around with this, you know, boogeyman in the corner, worried that people are going to call you a toy. Well, if you act and carry yourself like a punk, then yeah, you're going to be a toy, man. You're going to be a toy, you know, but you got to try, man. If you don't try, like, you know, you find yourself being a coward, man. I don't know how that feels, man. I mean, you know, maybe you might want to, you know, learn how to be just a good person. You understand? You know, really try to, like, you can't try to not be a toy. You can try to be a really good person. And you could just let things kind of grow at their own pace. You know, when people like you, yeah, the ones that are your tribe, they'll come to you. They'll give you your chance. You'll have your time, but you don't rush it. Don't rush relationships. You know, don't rush style. You know, when you listen to the OGs, they'll give you advice on who the people to look at. Listen their history. Try to really take that history in. And then once you've acquired that knowledge, assess it for yourself, and don't try to impose your opinion on every OG you meet. You just say, you know what? all this time and all these different people I've ever talked to, they themselves have put me on game that I find very valuable. And I'm gonna tell you, that jumps past long away from the toy moniker. That's what jumps you up. That jumps you up to almost king status. Those are the type of things like that, and it don't matter if you have flaming burners or just a regular throw up that, you know, people's like, yeah, that's a dope throw up, but yo, this person is a real live one, man. This person's a real cool dude. You know what I'm saying? And a writer's writer. So take this, and hopefully you do something with it. You know, hopefully this, you know, helps you kind of assess where you're at in life, you know, because I'm not your judge. I'm not your judge, but if you do come to me with some toy shit, you probably are not going to get any answers out of me. I'm probably going to fall back with the rest of them into the shadows. But yo, I hope that helped you out. You know what I'm saying? These are just love letters out there. That's why I call this the Veteranos Corner. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you get something from an old dude for a young guy who's just trying to figure out his way. And I understand. I'm cheering for you. You understand what I'm saying? Everything I put out there for y'all on this YouTube thing, it's just a message in the bottle. It's a love letter for y'all. Hopefully it helps you. All right? Well, you take care. Mr. Totem out of here. Peace out.